what type of clients do you work with? Do you work with the brand new folks that's a 1-person, 2-person place, or who's your target client?
The answer is yes. I love our startups because they come and they're ready to get things done the right way. We love our startups, and we have programs in place just for startups, especially when it comes to cash flow. They have to be careful with that. But we also say we specialize in jacked up hot messes, because most of the time that's what comes to us are jacked up hot messes, because they didn't start it off correctly, or they trusted somebody to do it who really wasn't that good at it. We work almost exclusively with small businesses in terms of the accounting, bookkeeping side of things. But yeah, so we like to run the gamut. And when people ask me, well, what does it mean by small businesses? You can make $10 million and still be a small business. So for us, it's about the complexity of the business. So once you're starting to get to about, 50 employees who all receive checks rather than direct deposit, then we're going to start making recommendations in terms of internal accounting. But yeah, that's our passion here, is just to try to give these small businesses a little bit more level footing to some of the bigger companies around here. There we go. It's like I lost audio. What happened?
Okay. So something that's, I don't know why I keep unmuting myself. Okay. Something I think that's interesting with that, I think the SBA is who decides this. If it's not the SBA, it's someone from a government organization. But they kind of break down the size of businesses. And something that I always thought was really interesting is that a small business, which is probably what you and I consider as a small business, to the government is, at least it was, 500 employees and less,
right?
Which seems like insane to me. I mean, 500 people. I mean, that's got to be 8 figures in business, probably.
At least.
At least, and that's not, I think, when people really think about kind of a small business in there. And so you do it from, you said 50 employees or less. I guess they've changed it now to some extent where they've added micro business, which is 100 people or less, which is interesting because I would think micro is like 10 or less, but I digress. But so you look at it from how hard is this from a transaction standpoint? Is the difficulty usually from transactions, or what other things should someone be looking at from that perspective?
Well, for example, if you're a manufacturing company, there's a lot more going on there. I mean, you may make the same as one of our service companies, but that manufacturing, there is a lot of stuff happening. We've got to figure out cost of goods sold. There's inventory we have to work out. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And often it's better if they have somebody internally who can be doing that all the time. Like that's their full-time job to track that, because that's something that we can't do on our end. There's no way we have the capacity to have one person that just continues to track that company all the way. So we would prefer they have somebody internal handling the day-to-day operations, while we on the outside are at least overseeing it, giving advice where needed, and
like a controller,
doing the taxes. Yeah, pretty much like a controller. Correct. But then you get the smaller businesses where, there's no way they have the capacity or even the cash flow to hire somebody internally. And it's okay if they receive their numbers once a month or once a quarter. And then that's what we take internally and handle for them from the outside. And we kind of become their accounting department because they're too small to actually have one of their own.